Hello, I see people. Hello, people. I hope this will work better than last time. Last time I think I just embarrassed myself for 20 minutes until I bailed out. So let's see if we can make this work. I should be seeing my phone, so I guess it doesn't work. Deactivate. I'm using my phone as a camera, which goes over the Wi-Fi. Okay, this is better. And like this. Okay. Let me know in the chat if there's any technical issues like last time. It seems this computer, unlike the other one, has a GPU. What a concept. And it's using the GPU to do all the heavy video encoding. So yeah, if I put my hands here, looks like it's working. I wonder if I can enable the low latency mode. Where is that? There it is. I had disabled it last time because I had these issues. But let's try again this time. So this changed? Does this reflect the settings on the fly? It's a little bit faster. Okay. So I'm going to draw, let's see, which episode am I at? Last episode was 373. So this one will be 374. So the only thing I know is I drew this little bit of it's not even a storyboard, it's just like one panel. So I need to draw, I need to express the various speeds of development. And this is a bit similar to something I already did a few years ago, but I want to add a bit of a different twist to it. So I need to draw some kind of a tiger or a panther or something that runs really fast for the fastest speed of development. And this will be a rabbit or a hare, and this would be a tortoise. And for this last one, I want to draw snails, and not only snails, but snails that are a bit lost and maybe a bit drunk as well. So I want to draw some kind of a path inside nature environment, maybe a forest, maybe some bushes. I don't really know yet. But I want something for the snails to be able to climb up on. Okay, I'm going to start with very boring things, which is just drawing a frame on my piece of paper. And I hope that this whole setup holds up. It's not exactly super robust. So if you see things shifting or slowly degrading, or the angle is slowly changing, maybe it means something is falling. And please let me know. And again, this is a very low activity stream. I'll just be drawing and talking just a little bit, but not really much. So if you're working at the same time, if you want to use this as a background, I'll try to not to make too much noise. You can just look up at the screen once in a while. Okay, this table is a bit small, but I will manage. Okay, so I want some kind of path. Maybe I'll draw a horizon line first. Don't think we'll really see it much, but just to have an idea of where the horizon stops. Yeah, I'm going to need to add some text labels across the top and maybe some trees that will be going up as well, so I don't want to make it too high, but maybe somewhere around here. Just eyeballing it. Okay. So my path would go something like this. Let's make it a bit of zigzag so that I have room for several of those characters. Maybe like this. This will be an interesting exercise both in perspective and also in drawing trees, which is notoriously difficult, at least for me. So I'm going to have my tiger or similar animal going that way, and they'll already be a bit far in the distance. It might be strange to have only some trees on one side of the road, because if I have trees on this side as well as on this side, well, can't see the tiger that well, although it doesn't really I guess I could have a few trees, but most of them will be in the background, and because the path is going further away, I want to make the tree trunks smaller. Get my mouse out of the way. Okay, so this is to the right. This is where the snails will be. And I want a big tree trunk for them to, or for him or it, to be able to get a bit lost on the tree trunk. And then the trees, foliage might start something like here. It's going to be mostly foliage across the top, actually. And the tree trunks will become smaller on this side. It's going to get further away. Don't want to go into too much detail, otherwise this is going to take me ages. Okay, so, well, let me place the different characters or animals first. So the story of this is, I've been, well, I haven't really been following the what is it called, NLRB thing with Google and the Thanksgiving 4 and all that story. But I saw some tweets about a lawyer mentioning something about employees doing the wrong thing because they had changed the code base without their manager's approval, which, if you've ever worked for a tech company, even a big or small one, is just silly to expect that managers will review all the code. So I want to show that in some way in this drawing. Yeah, so the snails will be around here, maybe a bit lost on the tree, and the tortoise maybe could be around here. Tortoise isn't that big of an animal, but I still want to make it recognizable. So, and it's also closer to the viewer than the other ones. So this one will be maybe a rabbit. Maybe I'll put it here. I'm going to need some reference images, but this is where the rabbit will be, and there will be some kind of tiger around there. Let's get some reference images because I have no idea what a tiger looks like. Actually, what is a fast animal? If you know an animal faster than a tiger, please let me know. Tiger, let me see. What else do I know that's fast? I feel like Apple has used some of those feline names to convey the fact that their OS is very fast. A cheetah, maybe? I wonder if a cheetah would be faster. Well, it would be pretty fast anyway. So let's try drawing that. I'm just going to use Google Images to see what a cheetah looks like. Preferably a running one. This is risky. I'm going to draw something that doesn't look remotely like a feline. But let's try anyway. You're not seeing what I'm looking at, but I'm just browsing through images of cheetahs that are running, preferably, or just seeing what they look like. They have a lot of spots on their back. This is going to be a lot of work. I wonder if I can do... tiger isn't much better. Well, I guess I can't get away with doing some work for these. Okay, I think I found one. It's running in the wrong direction, so I may need to just use this image and flip it. Sorry, I'm off screen for just a few moments. I just want to flip this image. Tools. Flip. Save. Okay, I don't know if this will really work, but I'm going to take it as an example at least. And what can I open it with? Seems like Chrome is the only application that handles WebP images properly. Alright, there it is. It's going to be small anyway, so it won't matter too much if it doesn't look perfect. And it might be obscured by the tree if I put one here, but it should be alright. So, what does a cheetah look like? Something like this. It's small on the drawing because it's far away, but it shouldn't be too small because it's definitely the biggest of these 4 animals. This one has a bit of a... his butt is going upwards as it's running. Something like this. I could have also drawn the Roadrunner, but I did that before, so I don't want to do the same thing again. It has ears here. Looks like a dog. I don't want it to look like a dog. This is not cool. Too many lines around here. This chat is very quiet. You people are extremely well behaved. Feel free to say hi. belly is going down a bit like this. Well, its body is extremely long. This is quite surprising. Okay. Triangle nose. Gotta find things that make it look not like a dog. Still kind of looks like a dog. Alright, maybe I'll get back to this part later. Now we have a hare or rabbit. Let's see what that looks like. Don't want to make one that's too realistic. Doesn't really need to be. I just want it to be hopping around like one of those cute rabbits in cartoons. Okay, I don't really have something promising, but I have some ideas of what the body is like. So let's do something like it needs to be above the path. Let's see, what do the paws of a rabbit look like? They're pretty short. And maybe I'll make him just hop along. And then let's give him a big head and a little tail. And maybe I need to make it more obvious that he's hopping like this with movement lines. Okay, so ears are the main feature. It doesn't really look like a rabbit ear, does it? I think it can't be narrow at the base. Zoom in a bit here. That looks better, I think. No. I think that's too big. I don't think I've ever drawn a rabbit before, so it'll take a bit of time. I guess the simplest would be just to have its ears perked up like this, but would that be natural? That is even worse. Absolutely not like this. Maybe I'm making them too big. So let's try something like this. I do want to have one that's folded. Maybe backwards. Not sure. I'm giving it a foot or 2 feet, but not very much of a leg. So let's do more of a leg like this, maybe this way. Big feet. Okay. Okay, how about its paws, its front paws? I guess they'll be mostly hidden. No, just mostly hidden around here. Okay. Now, let's do a turtle. Pretty sure that's also the first time I've drawn a turtle. Ever. What does that look like? That is probably slightly easier. Do I want a turtle or a tortoise? What's the difference? I don't even know. Tortoise looks like what I want more. Once again, I'm just looking at Google Images. Okay. So I guess I already have most of the shell. Let's do it this way. And paws are like this, kind of round-ish. And a hand, maybe like this. So the idea is that the cheetah will be something like solo development, and then the hare or the rabbit will be a startup company, and the tortoise would be Google, and then the lost snail at the end will be Google, where all managers need to review all changes, or all code changes need to be reviewed by a manager. Just to make a point that it's ridiculous to expect that. Okay, what does the pattern on a tortoise shell look like? Some of them are quite structured, some others are more messy. I mean, the ones I'm seeing online. Do seem to have a bit of a concentric circle business going on here. Don't want it to look like bricks though. And then the leg shape. Oh, some of those tortoises, they have nails. Is that a thing? Guess I'll give it some nails. Doesn't really look like it's walking in the first place. So maybe it should have more of an articulation to its paw. Is that even called a paw? Or a leg? Or oh, it's just a limb, let's say. Maybe the head should be a bit bigger. Alright, and the snail is going to be quite small. So maybe I want to enlarge it a bit so it's at least recognizable. What does a snail look like? Okay. Yeah, alright. And maybe I should be going the wrong way even. Although I do need enough space for its eyes. So, here. Alright, so the eyes look something like this. Oh, the eyes are here, and these are, what, antennas? This is strange. Okay, I know absolutely nothing about the the way snails are made, obviously. The anatomy is the word I was looking for. Okay, and the proverbial snail shell with a spiral. Okay. Okay, and so I want to make it obvious that it's completely lost and misguided, so maybe I'll give it a bit of a path that goes nowhere. I also want it to be drunk, so I'll add a bottle of something, a bottle of wine. I'm not sure about the scale here. Bottle of wine, turtle. I mean, this is not realistic drawing, obviously, but I don't want it to be too far off, otherwise it will just be distracting to whoever is looking at it. So this looks like a bottle of wine. I've drawn those before, so I don't need too much of a reference for that one. Okay. And let's say that it is mostly spilled, but not completely. So let's see, maybe it has a bit of a wine like this. And then it should be obvious that the snail has drunk some. Drink, drunk, drunk, drunk. Maybe I should make this a bit further away. Okay. Alright, so the path of the snail, what should it look like? My table is creaking a bit. It's really just a keyboard tray that I've built and that I'm using for this purpose, but I hope the creaking isn't too loud into the microphone. Let's see if there's a setting. Maybe this will be better. Not sure. Alright, so the snail is starting from here, and maybe it is going this way, and then it is going into the wine, and then out again, and then it needs to climb on the tree. Be a bit misguided there too. And then back down to here. Something like this. And we also want to make it say hips. Is that the right onomatopoeia for someone who's drunk? Alright, I need a bit more width to my path here. And should become wider as it gets closer. But then there's also perspective, which I'm absolutely terrible at. And again, this is something completely non-realistic, but I just don't want the perspective or the scales to be so wrong that it would distract people from looking at the joke or getting the joke. So I want it to be at least believable. And we are going to have labels pointing at the various animals to explain. I guess I could have also written on their back or on their skin somewhere, but I don't think there's going to be enough space for that. So I'll just add labels. Seriously, no one is saying anything on the chat. Please say something. I feel very alone. So that's one. I'm just drawing some lines to write text on. And the last one will need to be a bit longer. The last label, I mean. So it might be on a couple of lines instead of just one. I also don't want it to hide too much of the The snails, what do you call it? The drool, what do you call the mucus that snails produce? Is it drool? Is it like snot? Not very yummy anyway. So, do I need 3 lines or 4 lines? I'm not sure. Oops. Let's do it this way. I guess it makes sense to draw these labels first, because then I won't know what part of the forest it hides. Forest behind it. Let's see. So this should read solo development. So maybe I should have 2 lines actually. Maybe I should write those right away. My mouse is in the way. Go over there. Alright, I'm going to use a pen for this. Or felt tip pen. Alright, so this should read, I want to make sure I'm not writing too big in a way that I can't fit the other labels. And then this will be startup company. Maybe also 2 lines for that one too then. I think I might be writing a bit big. Maybe now I should unzoom. And this one should read Google. I'm going to need more space on the right, so I think I'm going to put this a bit more to the left. Google here. Should really be called Alphabet, but everybody knows about Google. Alright. The labels are also going down from the top of the drawing. That's not really on purpose, but why not? And then how about this one? So I need to write Google where all code changes. Maybe I should phrase it like Google where managers review all code changes. Sorter. Google where managers review. Yeah. I think I might need more space. Or should I just say company where managers need to review all changes? because it's obviously not the case at Google. Or I could say Google, comma, but all changes need.
Okay, get ready.
My phone is waking up. I'm saying Google too much. Oh, and now obviously the... because my phone has launched its assistant. What is going on? Come on, phone. I don't need an assistant. I should just disable it, never use it. Okay, so where... I think it launched the camera, which is not what I want. Huh. Okay, no, not this one. Sorry. Droid cam. Deactivate. Well done, Mr. Assistant. Very useful. Why is this not working? I got the address wrong. 143. Okay. This is just the address. Oh, I wonder if I need to plug it in. Might be a problem. Might be running out of battery. Yes, no, maybe. Why is it not showing anything? This is strange. Is it because the camera is still running, so it can't have access to... Oh God, this is so annoying. Okay, let's get this fixed. What is going on, Mr. Android? I do not need you to open the camera. Okay. Start cam. This might be working again. Maybe. Back. I think I see something. Okay. Jeez. Okay. Now, how about the angle? Is that okay? Close enough. All right. Sorry. Hi, Mahamanaga. Merci. Mahama Hanaga. Merci. Okay. I was in the middle of writing something. Maybe I should avoid saying the name of that company, the G company, because otherwise the assistant goes crazy and can't see my drawing anymore. All right. So, all right. I still want to maintain the progression going downwards here, so I don't want to start too high up, but I'll say something like here. The company that we shall not name, comma, but how do I phrase this? Let's say, but managers. I forgot an A. Crap. I was gonna say, I guess manager without a second A is eat in French. So maybe I'm hungry. That might be why. Manager. I'm gonna add the second A, and then I'll just flip it in post. That's what movie people say, right? We'll fix it in post. But manga managers review all code changes. Must review. All code changes. Okay, please bear with me for the typo. Can you even call it a typo if it's handwritten? You don't type. It's a hando. And I don't really like that this is eating into my snail trail on the tree. So maybe I will make the trail steer clear of that label. Slightly unfortunate, but it's alright. Okay, so I want arrows to point to these different things. So something like this. And this. And here. And maybe I'll add a twist since all of these arrows are perfectly straight. This one will be curvy. This is the only messy one. Not the kind of detail that anyone would notice, but might add to the feeling of this last one is the messy one, or the slow one. Slow and messy, and also not going straight to the point. Like this. Okay. I'm procrastinating on the forest because I know this is going to be more work. And if I draw the labels first, they will hide the forest. So then I can draw less forest. Let's see, how thick do I want to make the border of these labels? Let's just do thin like this. Alright, I'm going to try not to have my big head in the way of the camera. And I am absolutely not using a ruler for this. Doesn't matter. It feels more hand-drawn. to make them perfectly straight, but they are not perfect. Okay. Definitely not perfect. I might fix that line later on the computer. Not sure what happened to my hand for a second. And this one goes up first and then down. Alright, also now that I know where my highest label is, I could potentially move the border of the drawing down a bit, even though it's going to be more like a wide landscape aspect ratio. But especially with this type of drawing, the less is more. The less stuff you have to process as a reader, the better. It may detract from the aesthetics. If I had been really good at drawing forests, then it would mean that there would be less of a gorgeous forest to look at. But since I'm not missing much. So, and it's also less work for me. Less forest to draw. Don't want to overdo it either. Let's say, yeah, maybe about this much. All right. So everything above this line will be nothing. I feel like I'm not quite done yet especially with the cheetah, but maybe I shouldn't procrastinate too much for the trees. Alright, so what are the trees going to look like? Maybe this shouldn't really get in the way of the path too much. It should more be like stopping here. Otherwise it will just be difficult to parse. So let's say we have a tree here. This one is large. Maybe I could even make the tree steer clear of that label completely. No, I think that's alright. But I do want another tree here, maybe a bit smaller. I'll do some hints of branches going off the trees. This will be like this. tree here in the background. And then I'll probably just be a bit lazy and hint at more trees with just a bunch of vertical strokes without really adding too much detail. Just one properly drawn tree trunk here and there. But first, I'm lazy, and second, I think it's, as long as the reader understands that these are trees, it should really be enough. I had at one point I had a really nice reference image made by Studio Ghibli on how they draw trees. And the image itself is gorgeous, obviously. So if I really wanted to do things well, I could use that as a reference and try to make my trees look like Studio Ghibli trees. But first, I don't think I would be able to, and then it may even detract people's attention from what the drawing is about. I feel like this is going down too much. Okay. So, how am I going to draw all the leaves? Am I going to be just very lazy and draw general shapes of leaves? I will use a bit of color and shading to make it obvious which trees are closer, which trees are further away. But maybe I'll also add some little strokes to indicate that there are leaves. Okay, this is nearly ready to start using some ink, but I'm not really happy with my cheetah just yet. Where's my cheetah image again? There it is. Okay. Well, I will be drawing some dots, that's for sure. Also, let's see, am I going to draw some kind of a movement line to show that it's going fast, and maybe some little clouds. Tiny clouds to show that there's a bit of dust on its path. Okay, I'm also not super happy about my rabbit. Maybe the tail should be a bit more fluffy. I often really think so much work for just a silly joke. Is it really worth it? Sometimes it isn't, and sometimes it is. And I am never able to tell when it is, so I just do it anyway. these little hops, I think I want to show a bit of a perspective to them. Maybe just 3. So that, like these are maybe flatter and this is more at an angle from the viewer, from the plane of the drawing. Alright. If I make the tortoise's head a bit bigger, I could give it a bit of a facial expression as well. Like a smile. Because it's slow, but it's still happy. No reason for being sad about the speed. Even the snail is happy. It's just drunk. And come to think of it, I don't even know what type of facial expression I will give the snail. Maybe it's going to be cross-eyed. Do snails have a mouth? Good question. Snail. Well, cartoon snails have mouths. They're seen to eat from somewhere, right? I may look cross-eyed, but it doesn't look too... It doesn't really look like it's cross-eyed. Let's try it again. It's probably a bit small for you to see. Alright. I think I can start adding some ink to this puppy. This is the dangerous part of using ink. I have an ink bottle. I'm going to put it over there. I'm already making a mess. Okay. I don't think I will be needing this ruler anymore. So, let's see. Let's use this paintbrush for the frame. Move this out of the way as well. Okay. I like to change the line thickness of the frame. Make it look more hand-drawn. Okay, let's try. Oops, I'm putting some on my fingers already. It's too early to make it a mess. Let's not make a mess yet. Let's make a mess later, please. Happy about my phone setup. My big head isn't too much in the way. I guess I need to really be leaning forward. Yeah, that works. It is a bit precarious, but it works. I haven't fallen down just yet. except for that damn assistant triggering when I don't need it. Alright, nearly done with the frame. I think I should add some elements to this stream to explain what I'm doing. If someone comes over and sees what I'm drawing, sees no context whatsoever, it'd be a bit strange, hard to grasp. Maybe I'll do that next time. Okay, so now I still need my cheetah image as a reference. Okay. And I said that I didn't want a tree in the way. So this part will now be masked by a tree. Maybe I should make the tail a bit more detached from the rear legs, like in the photo that I'm using, so it's a bit more clear what type of animal we have to deal with. And maybe this leg should touch the ground a bit more. You really have long legs. No wonder they run fast. Trying to see more clearly what this looks like. Is it still looking like a dog? Guess once I add all the dots, it won't. I hope. What is the main difference in morphology of the face of a dog versus a cheetah? I don't know. Right, I'll try my best. So I'm going to use a slightly smaller paintbrush for this. Let's do the body first. I think I made the leg go a bit too high here. Too low, I mean. Need to make it go higher. And it's the other one, that is the one behind, that's actually going lower. Yeah, that looks more like it. Well, I hope the color, once I add the color, this will also help make it look like it's not a dog. Although there are yellow dogs, but with the dots and the color, I hope it will be clear. Maybe I should zoom in again a little. Like so. Okay. Now we have ears. Its leg is even a bit longer than I've drawn. It's really super long. Okay. Maybe this, the way the nose is is organized or shaped, that looks like not so much like a dog. But knowing myself, I might still mess that up. It's alright, I'll just add some yellow and black dots and it will be obvious. I'm really not that preoccupied about making something pretty. I don't really care much about that. I just want it to be understandable. Alright, let's draw some dots. Let's see, they are bigger on the body and smaller elsewhere. I'm just going to eyeball it, like I always do. They're a bit smaller here. Yeah, already this doesn't really look like a dog anymore, thankfully. I think. There are dots on the tail. Yes, there are. Maybe even stripes towards the end. Or maybe they're just bigger dots. Interesting. Well, the very end is black. I wonder if that's specific to this one, this guy, or gal. Or if it's true for all of these cheetahs or leopards. Is a leopard faster than a cheetah? No idea. I just want people to recognize what I've drawn as one of those yellow things with black dots that run fast. That's all I need. I don't really care about anything else. Looks close enough. Maybe some paws. Okay. Now let's do some little clouds to show that it's running. And that there's some dust around it. So usually I would make the clouds go smaller as we go away from the character, but in this instance we're actually getting closer to the viewer, so maybe it doesn't really hold. I think I also need to get some movement lines, because otherwise the clouds look a bit messy. They don't look like they really follow the path of the animal. And I think I'll color those white later. And then movements around the body and the legs. Okay, now Mr. Bunny. Let's try the bunny. Okay, doesn't look too bad from the back. Should I make its face a bit fluffy? So the contour of the face would not be smooth, but more, yeah, like fluff. Let's see. How might we do this? With a very small pen. Is that even worth it? Might not even be visible at the scale at which people will see this drawing, but what the heck. Now the tail needs to be very fluffy. What does a very fluffy tail look like? Looking for more reference images. Not sure I like any of them. just make it very bushy like this. And then I just want to hint that it has front paws. Not really seeing them, but just like this. Okay. Now I need some movement lines for the bunny, which will follow this one. Let's try like this. And maybe I will also add a small cloud of smoke at each rebound, like that. Just want to make the movement of the bunny more obvious, showing that it's hopping around. And I'm also trying to close my strokes, and it's a lot easier afterwards when doing some coloring, because I can use the paint buckets tool. That is the bane of the existence of digital arts people. One is the wrong layer, two is strokes that are not closed. Alright, let's do Miss Tortoise. A slightly larger head than I initially drew to give it a facial expression that can be actually seen. Alright, this inverted letters, that is bothering me, so I will just want to fix it here. It's just not very nice to look at. I just need to flip the A and the G. Now we have a bottle of wine to draw still. I'm drawing the foreground first, obviously. Okay, this is not the right paintbrush. This is too big. I want this one. Okay, now we have a bit of spilled wine, which I don't know if it will be white wine or red wine. We shall see. I wonder if the speech bubble that says hips is a bit too much out of the way. It's not really crucial, but it's right in the corner. Well, I guess it's too late to change it now. too late because there's not really other places to put it now, but this is fine, I think. Should I add a punctuation mark? Full stop? Exclamation point? Such details. Never mind, just like this. Okay. Okay. Let's do the snail trail. Maybe it started from here. And I want to make it join itself when it crosses over itself, because that's what happens to snots, doesn't it? It will melt together, I'm sure. Not that I've even ever tried to leave a trace of snot to see what happens, but I'm going to guess they just merge. Okay, let's see. I want to make it look like it's really zigzagging and messy. Also don't want it to interfere with the label anymore. Maybe you should also go around the tree. There's really no reason why it shouldn't. So let's see. It goes this way, and then this way. Okay, I myself am getting lost with all those traces of snots that are intersecting with one another. Not that the reader will necessarily follow the track, but still. This almost looks like a road network. Okay, I think that's good enough for a drunken path. Now, eyes that are... Can't really see that, can you? Okay, I think this must be dry by now. Not completely erased there yet, so need a bit more. Okay, now we need to draw a bit of a path. That all of these animals are following. Usually I would make the path go from left to right, but in this case I want to show the slowest animal last, of course. So we need to reverse the order. can restore my messed up label now. Managers. There. Much better. And not quite done with the path over there yet. As it becomes smaller into the distance. Well, the cheetah isn't exactly on the path towards the end, but it's alright. Let's do some trees. I'm going to be less good about closing my path, my strokes now. I don't want these objects to be too well defined, or just blend into the background here and there. And the background will be mostly, oops, I completely messed up my alright. That is not cool. Let's try again. Logistics. I'm glad I live in an era where computers are commonplace. I wouldn't want to do all of those fixes by hand without having any option to use an image manipulation software. Like people did in the old days. Okay, note to self, not rub white out with my palm. This tree can be a bit more well defined, because it's the important one. The snail going on around it. Can't really see what I'm doing, do you? Should be more mindful of that. Okay, these are maybe the main trees. No, there's some more there. And then the rest I think will be a bit more, a bit fuzzier. Maybe more artsy. Which is a good way to hide that I don't want to draw them in detail. Oh, there's another one there in the background. Maybe I should unzip them a bit now. Yeah. I'm really more hinting at branches than really drawing them properly. It's not really the topic of interest. I feel like this tree is out of place. But I think I can make it work afterwards, maybe with some color or something. Okay, maybe some foliage now. I wonder if maybe we could see just a tiny bit of blue sky in the corner. Not sure. I'll have to decide that later. we are getting close. Maybe I should make the limits of the forest more clear on the ground. Maybe beyond the limits will be more woody and brown, and before the limits it would be more green and grassy. But then what about the other side, you might ask? And I don't know. I probably need to do something similar. Even though there are no trees, on this side. And I want to hint at more trees in the distance. Okay, I should probably sign as well, if I have any space left somewhere. On the right, or maybe along the bottom here. Or maybe on the wine bottle. That would be a bit too visible. Let's do it on the side. Maybe along the side here. I always make the colors more muted anyway, after I'm done coloring on the signature, I mean. It's a bit too obvious now. Let's see, does this look about right? I think I might need some more movement lines for the rabbits. Now, should I add some little strokes to the foliage, or would that be a bit overkill? I think it would be a bit overkill. I don't want to do it all over. For all the trees, it's just going to be distracting. Maybe I'll just add a bit of a irregularity to this tree here. Like here. Don't even know what you call those. Tree holes? Wherever the squirrels go to hide. I feel like making little strokes, so keep doing that for a little bit and then I'll call it a day. That's pretty mostly done, except for the color, of course. Maybe the ground is where I need these little strokes. Or little bunches of grass. And on the tree trunks too. Look at this, so many opportunities to make tiny strokes everywhere. Which is a dangerous tendency, especially for a drawing of this style, which shouldn't be very detailed. But I don't think this is going too far yet. Just a little bit. And my horizon line is completely lost. I don't even know if I've really respected it. No, I don't think I have. But that's okay. I don't think it will matter very much. Let's add my missing letters again. Once more. Mana. Now there's so much white out, it's all crumbling. Alright, well, it's legible. I think this is mostly done now. I think I will be adding the colors offline, because I'm going to need some time to scan this. And maybe next time I stream I'll do some coloring. I don't know. Okay, I'm going to call this a day. And it's been a little bit over 2 hours. Thanks for listening to me blabber and monologue. So this is what it looks like. Can't really see the whole of it, but it's good enough. I guess my little thingies are in the way. I just hide some of them. Haha. Haha. Better. There we go. Alright. I'm going to stop here, and I'm going to add some colors, and I'm going to post this tomorrow morning, maybe early morning, California time. We'll see. And it should be on Twitter, and it should also be on other places like the goomix.net website, but mostly on Twitter. Alright, thanks everyone for watching, and I will see you in the next one.